After 60, every food choice matters more than ever. The right fish can protect your memory, strengthen your heart, and even slow down aging from the inside out. But the wrong fish, just 2 servings a week, can raise your risk of cognitive decline and heart disease by as much as 70%. The difference between healing and harm often comes down to what's on your plate. Over the past 2 decades working in nutrition, I've seen this pattern again and again. Patients come to me believing they are eating healthily because they include more fish in their diet. They expect better energy, sharper memory, and stronger joints. Yet instead, some feel more fatigued, more forgetful, and increasingly burdened with aches and inflammation. Often, the culprit is not that they are eating fish, it's the type of fish they are choosing. The truth is, not all fish are created equal. Some are loaded with toxins, mercury, or inflammatory fats that quietly undermine your health, especially as your body's defenses become less resilient with age. But there is also good news. Other fish are among the most powerful healing foods you can eat after 60 nutrient-rich sources of protein, omega-3 second, and antioxidants that can help you stay strong, independent, and mentally sharp, well into your later years. In this article, I'll share with you the 4 fish that I always advise my senior patients to avoid, and the 4 fish I recommend they eat regularly for longevity and vitality. And here's the part that surprises almost everyone. The number 1 must-eat fish on my list isn't salmon, and it's not tuna. It's a far humbler option that most people completely overlook. So, let's begin with the first fish you should never touch after 60. Before we talk about the healthiest choices, it's critical to first expose the 4 fish that can quietly harm your body after 60. Fish number 1. Imported catfish, a cheap choice that can cost your health. At first glance, catfish looks harmless. It's mild in flavor, affordable, and widely available. Many of my patients have told me they rely on catfish because it's easy to cook and fits into a budget. But here's the danger. If that catfish is imported, especially from certain large-scale farms overseas, it may be one of the most contaminated fish you could put on your plate. In my practice, I've seen seniors who unknowingly made catfish a staple in their diets, only to later struggle with persistent inflammation, gut issues, and even antibiotic resistance. Why? Because imported catfish are often raised in overcrowded, poorly regulated farms. To keep the fish alive in such conditions, heavy doses of antibiotics and chemicals are used. Those residues don't disappear. They end up in the flesh of the fish, and eventually, in your body. For older adults with weaker immune systems, this can make real medications less effective when you truly need them. And that's not the only problem. Many imported catfish are raised in polluted waters, absorbing industrial runoff, heavy metals, and carcinogens. Over time, these toxins quietly accumulate in your system, increasing risks for kidney damage, neurological problems, and even cancer. Add to this the nutritional profile. Catfish raised on unnatural diets of corn and soy develop an unhealthy omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. For seniors already battling arthritis or heart disease, eating imported catfish is like pouring gasoline on the fire of inflammation. The good news is that not all catfish are bad. Domestically farmed catfish in the United States are subject to stricter regulations and are generally much safer. My advice is simple. If catfish is on your menu, always choose domestic, responsibly raised options and avoid imported varieties altogether. Fish number 2. Tuna, albacore, big eye, the hidden mercury trap. For decades, tuna has been praised as a lean, convenient source of protein. I've met countless patients who eat tuna salad sandwiches or canned tuna several times a week, believing they're making a smart, heart-healthy choice. But the reality is very different. Large tuna species like albacore, white tuna, and big AI are some of the most mercury-contaminated fish in the ocean. Here's why that matters, especially after 60. Mercury is a heavy metal that builds up in tuna as they grow older and feed on smaller fish. When you eat tuna, that mercury doesn't leave your body quickly, it accumulates in your tissues, especially in the brain and nervous system. In my years of practice, I've seen seniors come in with symptoms like memory loss, tremors, numbness, and mood swings. Many assumed it was just normal aging, but often, mercury exposure from frequent tuna consumption was part of the picture. Scientific studies back this up. Research published in JAMA Neurology showed that seniors with higher mercury levels had a significantly greater risk of cognitive decline. Mercury also stresses the cardiovascular system, increasing the risk of arrhythmias and heart attacks, 2 problems older adults can't afford to ignore. Now, does this mean you should never eat tuna again? Not necessarily. Light canned tuna, usually made from smaller skipjack, has lower mercury levels. But even then, I advise my patients to limit it to once or twice a month at most. The problem is that many seniors eat tuna weekly or even daily because it's affordable and convenient. Over time, this regular exposure adds up. My advice is simple. If you value your memory, mood, and heart health, keep tuna as an occasional meal, not a staple. There are far safer fish that give you protein and omega-3 second without the hidden mercury trap. Fish number 3, king mackerel, a mercury monster in disguise. Mackerel is one of those fish that often confuses my patients. They hear it's a good source of omega-3 second, so they assume all mackerel must be healthy. But here's the critical distinction. Not all mackerel are created equal. While smaller species like Atlantic or Spanish mackerel are safe and nutritious, king mackerel is one of the most mercury-laden fish you can eat. In my 2 decades of practice, I've seen seniors unknowingly harm their health simply because they didn't know the difference. King mackerel is a large, long-lived predator. The longer a fish lives, and the higher it sits on the food chain, the more mercury it accumulates. For king mackerel, the levels are so high that both the FDA and EPA officially recommend that seniors, children, and pregnant women avoid it altogether. Why is this so concerning for older adults? Mercury is especially damaging to the brain and nervous system. I've worked with patients who complained of increasing forgetfulness, difficulty concentrating, or unexplained mood swings. Many thought it was just aging, but mercury exposure from fish like king mackerel was a hidden factor. Mercury also damages blood vessels, disrupts heart rhythms, and raises the risk of stroke. Serious threats if you're already managing high blood pressure or heart disease. To make matters worse, king mackerel often shows up on restaurant menus or in grocery stores simply labeled as mackerel. Unless you ask, you may not even realize you're eating the dangerous variety. My advice is clear. Avoid king mackerel entirely. If you enjoy mackerel, choose Atlantic or Spanish mackerel instead. They provide the same beneficial omega-3 second without the toxic mercury overload. When it comes to protecting your memory, heart, and independence after 60, this is one fish you should never touch. Fish number 4, farm tilapia, junk food of the sea. Tilapia is one of the most popular fish in America. It's cheap, widely available, and often marketed as a lean, healthy protein. Many of my older patients have told me they eat tilapia several times a week because it feels like a safe option. But here's the harsh truth. Farmed tilapia is one of the worst choices for seniors over 60. The problem begins with how this fish is raised. In most industrial fish farms, tilapia are crowded into pens or ponds where disease spreads quickly. To keep them alive, farmers often rely heavily on antibiotics, antifungals, and pesticides. These chemicals don't just vanish, they build up in the flesh of the fish, and when you eat it, they enter your body. For seniors whose immune systems are already weaker, this adds an unnecessary toxic burden. Even more concerning is the feed. Farmed tilapia are often fed a diet of corn, soy, and even animal waste. This unnatural diet drastically alters their fat profile. While fish are supposed to be a good source of omega-3 second, tilapia have one of the most imbalanced omega-6 to omega-3 ratios of any food, sometimes as high as 11:1. Too much omega-6 promotes inflammation, which fuels arthritis, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. In fact, some studies have found that eating tilapia can raise inflammation markers in the body, more than eating bacon or hamburgers. I've seen patients switch from tilapia to wild-caught alternatives like cod, sardines, or trout, and the difference in their inflammation levels and overall energy was remarkable. Tilapia simply doesn't deliver the protective benefits we expect from fish. Instead, it quietly undermines health. My advice is simple. Avoid farmed tilapia altogether. It may look like a bargain, but for seniors over 60, it's a dangerous trade, cheap on the plate, costly for your health. Now that you know which fish to avoid, let's turn to the 4 fish I recommend most often to my senior patients, fish that can truly support healthy aging. Best fish number 1, Pacific cod, a clean source of strength. Cod isn't always the first fish that comes to mind when people think about healthy eating. Most of my patients immediately mention salmon or tuna. But in my practice, I often recommend wild-caught Pacific cod because it provides an incredible balance of clean protein, essential minerals, and very low toxin risk, making it one of the best fish for seniors over 60. Let's start with protein. After 60, muscle loss known as sarcopenia becomes a serious concern. I've seen many older adults struggle with weakness, poor balance, or fatigue, simply because their diets don't provide enough high-quality protein. A single serving of Pacific cod delivers nearly 40 grams of lean protein, with very little fat and only about 180 calories. It's the kind of protein your body can easily use to maintain muscle strength and independence. Cod is also one of the richest natural sources of selenium, a mineral most seniors don't get enough of. Selenium acts like an antioxidant shield, protecting cells from oxidative stress, the rusting process that accelerates aging. Research shows that seniors with higher selenium levels enjoy better cognitive function and stronger immunity. In my experience, patients who add cod to their diet often notice improvements in energy and mental clarity. What makes Pacific cod especially valuable is its safety. Unlike larger predatory fish, cod have shorter lifespans and live in the cold, clean waters of Alaska, so they accumulate very little mercury. That means you can eat it regularly without worrying about toxins. And for those with sensitive digestion, cod is light, flaky, and easy to tolerate. My advice is simple. Bake or steam Pacific cod at moderate temperatures to preserve its delicate nutrients. Paired with vegetables and healthy fats like olive oil, it becomes a powerful, clean source of strength for anyone over 60. Best fish. Dos. Sardines. Tiny fish. Powerful protection. Sardines may look small and unassuming, but don't let their size fool you. In my 2 decades of practice, I've often told patients that sardines are one of the most powerful superfoods they can add to their diets, especially after 60. They're affordable, widely available, and packed with nutrients that directly target the biggest health concerns of older adults. The most important benefit of sardines is their omega-3 fatty acids. These essential fats reduce chronic inflammation, which is at the root of arthritis, clogged arteries, and even memory decline. I've seen patients who struggled with stiff joints or high blood pressure notice real improvements after making sardines a regular part of their meals. Unlike some larger fish, sardines deliver these benefits without the hidden risk of mercury contamination. That's because sardines are small and feed only on plankton. They sit at the very bottom of the food chain, which means they don't accumulate heavy metals like tuna or king mackerel. This makes them one of the safest fish for seniors to eat regularly. But sardines offer much more than omega-3 second. They're one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D, a nutrient most seniors are deficient in. Combined with calcium and phosphorus from their edible bones, sardines support strong fracture-resistant bones, helping reduce the risk of falls and osteoporosis. They're also rich in vitamin B12, essential for nerve health, energy, and preventing that foggy-headed feeling many seniors describe. What I love most about sardines is how practical they are. Canned sardines are inexpensive, portable, and easy to prepare. You can eat them straight from the can, mash them on whole grain toast with avocado, or mix them into salads. For seniors looking for a simple way to boost nutrition and protect long-term health, sardines are a tiny fish with truly powerful protection. Best fish number 3. Wild Alaskan salmon, the brain and heart protector. If there's one fish that consistently earns its reputation as a healing food, it's wild Alaskan salmon. In my 20 years as a nutrition doctor, I've recommended it more often than almost any other fish because it delivers powerful benefits for both the brain and the heart. 2 areas that become especially vulnerable after 60. The first reason is omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. These are the building blocks of brain health. Research shows that seniors with higher DHA levels have larger brain volumes and stronger memory performance. I've seen patients who regularly eat wild salmon experience better focus, sharper recall, and even more stable moods. For the heart, these same omega-3 second reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, and lower the risk of arrhythmias, heart attacks, and stroke. But salmon's benefits go far beyond omega-3 second. Its vibrant pink-orange color comes from astaxanthin, a rare antioxidant with remarkable anti-aging properties. Astaxanthin helps protect the eyes, skin, and nervous system from oxidative stress, essentially slowing down the rusting process that accelerates aging. Many of my older patients notice that with regular salmon meals, they feel more energetic and less weighed down by joint pain or fatigue. Another advantage of wild Alaskan salmon is its purity. Unlike farmed salmon, which often contain contaminants and unhealthy fat profiles, wild salmon feed naturally in clean, cold waters. That means you're getting protein, omega-3 second, vitamin D, B12, and selenium without worrying about hidden toxins. For best results, I advise baking or steaming salmon at moderate temperatures. Pair it with colorful vegetables and a drizzle of olive oil, and you have a meal that not only tastes amazing but also works as real medicine for your brain and heart. Wild Alaskan salmon isn't just a healthy choice, it's a powerful protector for aging well. Best fish number 4, rainbow trout, the all-in-one senior, friendly choice. When people ask me which fish offers the best overall balance for seniors, I often surprise them with my answer: rainbow trout. It doesn't have the fame of salmon or the convenience of sardines, but in my 20 years of practice, I've found rainbow trout to be one of the most reliable, nutrient-rich, and senior-friendly fish you can eat. The first reason is safety. Unlike many farmed fish raised in crowded, polluted conditions, rainbow trout in the United States are raised under strict regulations in clean freshwater systems. That means you don't have to worry about mercury, chemical residues, or hidden toxins building up in your body. For seniors, who process toxins less efficiently, this is a major advantage. Nutritionally, trout delivers everything you need for healthy aging. Each serving provides about 1,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, enough to protect your heart and keep inflammation in check. Omega-3 second also support brain health, reducing the risk of cognitive decline. Trout is particularly rich in potassium, which balances sodium and helps regulate blood pressure, a critical issue, since nearly 70% of seniors struggle with hypertension. But the benefits don't stop there. Rainbow trout is packed with B vitamins, including niacin, B3, for healthy cholesterol, and B12 for energy and nerve protection. It also contains phosphorus for strong bones, iron to fight fatigue, zinc for immunity, and vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that shields cells from damage. Together, these nutrients create a strong defense against the most common age-related problems. Finally, rainbow trout is easy to enjoy. Its mild flavor and tender texture make it gentle on digestion, even for those who find other fish too oily or heavy. Whether baked with lemon, pan-seared with herbs, or grilled, it adapts beautifully to simple, healthy meals. For seniors looking for a safe, well-rounded, and delicious option, rainbow trout truly deserves the crown as the ultimate all-in-one choice. The fish you choose after 60 can either protect your health or quietly undermine it. The wrong ones, imported catfish, tuna, king mackerel, and farmed tilapia, may look harmless, but they carry toxins, mercury, and inflammatory fats that accelerate aging. Over time, they can fuel memory loss, joint pain, and heart disease. The good news is that the right fish, Pacific cod, sardines, wild Alaskan salmon, and rainbow trout, act like natural medicine. They deliver clean protein, omega-3 second, bone-strengthening minerals, and antioxidants that slow the aging process. Making them a regular part of your diet can help you feel sharper, stronger, and more independent well into your later years. The key is not perfection, but progress. Even small changes matter. Replace one harmful fish with a healthier option. Add 2 servings a week of salmon, sardines, or trout. Over time, these small steps build into a stronger heart, a clearer mind, and a body that supports the life you want to live. Think of each meal as an investment in your future. The choices you make today determine the strength, clarity, and vitality you'll enjoy tomorrow. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What fish do you eat most often? Did any of these recommendations surprise you? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read as many as I can. And if you found this guide helpful, please pass it along to a friend who could benefit. Small changes today can mean a healthier tomorrow.